Hello guys, class 8. Here is Rashid Khan from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar. Now, the new chapter, that is a cell structure and a function, we have to start it. And in this chapter, we will learn about the cell. As we know that cell is the basic and a fundamental unit of our life. Why? Because you know in everywhere the organism, the living bodies are made up of a numerous kind of a cell. Whatever it is, plants, animal, human being and all living being, whatever it is, all living being present on the earth are called as, are made up of cell. So we can say the smallest or a basic structure of the body is cell. Here, you know, as a building blocks, the building are prepared by the blocks. As our body is prepared from these such type of blocks, that is our cell, which is made up of, the cell is comprises to form the tissues, and the tissues comprises to form the organs. An organ is comprises to form the organ system, and then organ system is to be in the form of found as our body. So here are, you can say, firstly, who has give the term, coined the term. A name is suggested over here, Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Anton von Leeuwenhoek, he has firstly coined the term cell chamber, cell as a chamber, a small chamber. But this is not sufficient for the explanation or discussion on this topic. So far, here is Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke published or suggested a name called as small rooms or chamber, which is called as a cell. Here is the initial structure or initial program is being forwarded. How they can be able to find out this? While experiment in their laboratory, he put up the cork at the bottom, at the mouth of the bottom. He just observed there are the cork which are having a number of small chamber on it, and that could be these are the number of small chambers over there, which has to be these small chamber is composed of these small chambers. These are found in cork cell. These are the cork cell which is present in the cork. कार्क के अंदर इस तरह के स्ट्रक्चर दिखाई दिए और वो इस स्ट्रक्चर को लेकर के उस पे एक्सप्लेनेशन हुआ, तब यहाँ पे एग्जिस्टेंस में आया सेल इन 1665. But this is not the most sufficient about that the cell, but the coined by Robert Hooke, which is universally acceptable. Now, the name Now the name suggested. Ischemon, Sheldon, Ischemon and Virchow. These three German scientists have proposed a theory about the cell, which is called as cell theory. Near about 200 years approx, there are the German scientists known as Sheldon, Ischemon and Virchow proposed a theory which is called as the cell theory. It is about what are the exact type of a cell and their structure, whatever it is, the most important. This can be given in the 1838. This theory is given by these three scientists in 1838. And according to this theory, the most important point is, first, all the cells, what are these? All the living organisms, all the living organism is made up of cell. First is what? All the living organism is made up of cell. And the second one is, we can say, new cells arise. Always new cells which is arise. New cells arise due to what? Due to the pre-existing cells. New cells arise from, new cells only can be arise from pre-existing cells. Pre-existing cells. What actually it means? What actually that have means? This, according to this theory, Sheldon, Ischemon and Virchow committed to the last conclusion that cell is what? All the living organism is made up of what? Cell. It means the all living organism present on the earth are made up of cell. Second one is, new cells arise from their pre-existing cells. What does it mean? As you know that no one can be germinated or grown or produced by their forefathers or might be their parents. So their next generation is the resultant of their parents, of their guardians, or you can say of their ancestor. So it could be the cell also, which is transferred from one generation to another generation. This one is the main motto is new cells arise from the pre-existing cells by cell division. It can be formed by the cell division. We can write by cell division. This can be obtained by the cell division. So this is about that the cell theory. Now we have to go to the next topic. Okay, next is unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular and multicellular organism. Unicellular and multicellular organism. What are these? You can say the organisms whose body is comprised from single or one cell. What are these? The organism whose body is comprised from single or one cell, that is called unicellular organism. So second one is called as multicellular organism. What does it means, the multicellular organism? These organisms having the organism is composed of many cells, or we can say the body of organism is composed of many cells are called multicellular organism. Multicellular organisms, like plants, example, plants, animals, and human beings. So we can say the body of organism is consisting of many cells, are said to be the multicellular organism, whose body is composed of, we can say in another way, the organisms whose body are composed of many cells are said to multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms. So this is all about the unicellular and multicellular organisms. This is all about the multicellular and unicellular organism. Now the next one is tissue. What are the tissues? As we know that number of millions and Renal cells comprise to form what? Tissues. And tissue is comprised to form organ. And organs are comprised to form organ system. And organ system is comprised to form what? Body. This is the method, or you can say the group of a cells, the number of a cells, or you can say the group of a cells which are comprised to form the tissues. The different type of a tissues are having their different functions. So we can say the various kind of tissues perform various functions. They can perform their special and distinct functions, like muscular tissues, Muscular tissues are found in a muscular organ, which has to be very used for the different functions or tasks. That means is stretching or doing a lot of a job itself. Next is our hand got stretches and thrown up front due to what? Due to the muscular organ, that is the muscular tissues. We can speak by the tongues due to what? There is a muscular organ called the tongues, and due to this tongue we can speak in a very easy form. Next is contractions and relaxations also be done by our muscular tissues. So different type of tissues have to perform the different functions. Now we'll have to move on. Shape, cell, shapes and size. Shapes and sizes of a cell. As we know that there are the different kinds of cells, in which first one is nerve cells. Nerve cells are what? These are the kind of tissues which is elongated, branched, and they have two terminal ends like this. This one is what actually this one is called as a nerve cells. These these are the nerve cells are the neurons present in our body which has to be a very important task. These are elongated form, nerve branched form. They are having both ends, that is a two terminal end, and it is very important for the transmissions of the information from one to another part of the body. Next is red blood cells. Red blood cells are spherical, concave in shape. That means there is a depression in the center, and this one is red blood or leukocytes cells, which are very important for having a globin, that is hemoglobin, due to which its color is red. Here is white blood cells, erythrocytes, white blood cells, and this one having a spherical shapes too, but their margins are free ends. They are free at the margins. Next one is muscle cells. Muscle cells are such type of cells which are elongated and fibrous elongated muscular cells, which is a very important for the different tasks, for the contractions and expansion of stretches of our hands and legs and other parts of the body as well. This is muscle cells. Next one is guard cells. Here you can see these are the guard cells. This is the guard cells, and you can see ramic cells. Next we'll do later. These are all about the cell shape. In the next video we'll